Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the TEQ Tien, the Super TEQ type support 60%, and just how good he is after his EZA. Now 150% TEQ type lead, greatly raising attack for one turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy whilst greatly lowering attack and defense. TEQ type units 10% attack and defense and 3 key, and an additional 50% for Super TEQ type units. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type TEQ excluded to TEQ key spheres, key plus 50%, and attack and defense plus 50% per key sphere obtained, an additional 20% and 10% crit chance per TEQ key sphere obtained, changes all key spheres to TEQ key spheres when HP is 50% or less, and there's another 2 or more superclass allies on the team, and guards all attacks for 4 turns from the start of turn with another 3 or more TEQ type allies on the team. Z Fighters, Crane School, Cold Judgment, Solid Sport, Experienced Fighters, Over in a Flash, and Sharing the Limit are the Link skills, and Worthy Rivals, Android Cell Saga, Final Trump Card, Earthlings, All Out Struggle, Saviors, Connected Hope, Bond of Friendship, and Earthbred Fighters are his categories. Now, Tien's pretty good. Obviously, a lot of the type sports, they all have the exact same build, so they all have the exact same passives. In terms of his hidden potential build, would have highlighted it there a little bit, but I believe for me, additional and evasion you probably find is the best. Now, because he doesn't raise defense on a super, I'm going to say that evasion is the best for Tien, because you have crit chance from the passive, okay? Additionals don't do much. They're already like doubling up on lowering attack and defense, like that's nice. Greatly raising attack for one turn is okay. None of it's super mandatory. You know, there's no defensive raise that you're going to get out of it. So giving yourself crit, much better, okay? And giving yourself giving yourself evasion is the best. Giving yourself evasion, if you give him full evasion, if you build him out full evasion, he could have close to 30% evasion on top of his innate crit and the support he's providing, which could make him a pretty nice floating support, especially if you have him at like a rainbow level. Talking about a guy that can have 400, 500k defense with just a couple orbs on top of also obviously getting himself 30% evasion. Now stat wise, depending on the number of orbs is always very, very different with these kind of units. Some of these units tend to thrive with a little amount of orbs, and some of them obviously thrive even more with a lot of amount of orbs. So you don't need tons of orbs to make him usable. His defense can hit a pretty decent pace with just 4 or 5 orbs, but really you start to see him kind of compound at that 6 orb mark. Remember, every additional orb adds 50% to the orbs previous. So when you have a unit like Tien, and you have him obviously getting 1 or 2 or 3 extra orbs, that tends to dramatically change how he's going to look. So it is quite important. It does have a significant bearing on his overall performance. On top of that though, as a unit, I think he's pretty decent. Cold Judgment's obviously quite a crucial link for him, being very pivotal towards his overall defense. Cold Judgment being a 20% defensive link at max is obviously a big factor towards how well he does. So being able to activate Cold Judgment is pivotal if you're looking to make him a solid second start option. If you're not interested in making him a second start option, if you're just going to float him with that kind of evasion build I alluded to previously, then you don't need to activate his Cold Judgment. It's nice to get, but it's not necessary to have. You'll still have solidish defense with or without it. Beyond that, he has things like Solid Sport, Z Fighters, Crane School, very Tien-centric link set, but not a crazy one. I think whenever you have a character like this, you have to understand their linking is always going to be difficult to incorporate on a proper team. Like if I'm looking to run Android Cell Saga, which is why I believe this guy has the biggest benefit. Units like TEQ Vegeta, TEQ Trunks, lots of great TEQ super units there, Goku Gohan, etc. I think there, on those kind of teams where you have a lot of TEQ heavy units that you might want to use Tien to boost, you don't need to worry about how he links with them, as he's giving them the main thing, which is his 60% support. But yeah, I think overall, to be honest with you. Tien, decent. I like his kit, I like his abilities. I think overall he's a good unit. Yeah, that's it from me.